Yo, what up, what up? It is gameplay of 30 seconds of shite. Exactly 30 seconds, actually, right now. Exactly. So I'm sitting here trying to do some evolutions, obviously. Jameer Nelson with the assists. Getting really close to getting Pau Gasol to an Opal. I did pick up a Bryant Reeves who had a diamond contract and diamond shoe. So he's just going to be a bench burner, but as he gets stats, he gets stats. Just let him collect them, and it won't cost me any money in contracts, which is the same way for almost all of my evolution cards now. I ended up picking them up with diamond contracts. So it's something you might want to do, especially if it's a really, really big grind on a card, because then you can just run them every game, and whatever they do, and you don't have to focus on just them. Oh boy, get him. Wow. The two tall white boys. No good. So, okay, this is what I was talking about before, where their defense generally shuts you down. You can't pass it in and out. So I run across the court, although I'm running out of time, and then usually it'll go to an X, and then you can pass it in and run the play. But not that time, of course. So why the hell am I showing all this? I don't even know. Not even sure. Because sometimes you just got nothing better to do. So I did end up picking up that pink diamond LeBron last night or early this morning. Can't even tell anymore. For I think it was about 12K, and then his prices jumped up as soon as those new packs came in, so that was lovely. So we're here for Willis Reed really quickly. And none of these cards mean nothing to me. They might mean something to you. We will click and check on how far we are. Still not done this Isaiah Thomas. It's the triple double. Once that eventually gets done, the rest of these will be easy, but I can't get them damn steals. And I even have a steel shoe on him. So we still have the Bulls, 5 games. We have Lakers, 5 games. Mavs, 4 games. Pelicans, 4 games. Rockets, 4 games. Blazers, 5 games. But what we just grinded for, so we have 5 remaining in 2000s, 80s, and 70s. So 15 games equates to, people say 7.5 hours, but I'm leaning more towards 8.5, 9. Unless you're doing cheesy ways without making sure the clock doesn't stop and such. So Willis Reed, IQ of C and playmaking of B minus. So 99, 99, 6'9", 235 at center, power forward. So if you are planning on using him, power forward's where it's at. 33 and 11. I'll just scroll through this. Every person nowadays has basically the same badges, either offensive, defensive, or both. And the only difference, like we've all already touched on and everyone else has, is animations and player build. And I guess the attributes, like what base they're based upon. But don't ever watch another video and assume because one person said one thing about one card, good or bad, that it's going to be the exact same experience for yourself, because it just doesn't work that way. Me, for some reason, I continually have my finger on the shoot button excessively long, so I, for some reason, like a little bit of a slower shooter. I mean, eventually, if I ran all of the tap button shoot players, I would get accustomed to it, but as of now, because I use shooters all over the board, which is something you might want to consider when you're putting your teams together, like I've talked about before. Go on to 2K Central, they're going to give you the player builds of all of these players. Find out their releases and their tendencies, and If you can set a whole team together of basically the same player build that you'll get accustomed and used to their shooting, and you should be able to handle everyone. Me, I just put everyone together as a mismatch, so there's zero consistency in the shot making between any of the players, and that's why I suck at the game. I've always been good at theory, never good at practice. Will I use this guy? Yeah, to burn out his contracts. That's about all. So you can speed boost. I mean, normally I'd say it's a pretty good card, but at this point in the season, it is what it is. But that would be Willis Reed. So 15 more games, like I said, and then the Kobe grind. I think I might go back and forth between the two. Not really sure which one I want to do first, but I just want to get them both over with because I'm over this grind shit, and I have so much left to do in domination, which I haven't even thought about touching. The weekly challenges I haven't even thought about touching. Although speaking of that, so in weekly challenges, the most recent one as of June 15th, 2020 is the 2010s. Okay, that is not where I want it to be. There we go. Weekly challenges. So week 41. It's one challenge. I do believe it is 15 tokens. And when you go into it, you're going to, it says showtime, so that should be able to tip you off immediately. You look at the roster, it's going to be the complete roster of that set of cards. So you want to go in there with a few players because you know it's going to be hella cheesy. Hella cheesy. Like, I don't think I might go in with that roster, but I really, really doubt it. I ended up using a bunch of opals on this roster, a 13-man team. But yeah, just prepare yourself for it. But it is an easy 15 tokens if you really need the 15. And I think that's probably mostly it for the day, unless some codes come out later. But keep your grind game strong.